Hi, you guys. So I wasn't gonna make this video. I was trying to get revelation of it. I had this dream like 3 nights ago, and I'll probably make two news videos and two dream. This will be one of two dream videos, and then I'll talk about where I've been. But I was just watching this video, and it it came up in my home feed, not in my sub feed, and about this rapper. What really happened to Petey Pablo? Back in the day, I think I went to one of his like concerts or showings here at one of the clubs back in the day, and he kind of like fell off the map. So I started watching this video, but it gets to this point here where he is talking about how he came to make one of his hits and that he was given an instrumental from a producer, a famous producer, and he listened to the instrumental cross country from, I think they said, New York to California, some road trip he was taking. And he was saying, or the narrator was saying that he said that it felt like a helicopter was following him the whole way there. And then he came up with the song. What that means, I don't know. But when I seen that it was camouflage, it reminded me of my dream. So I had probably about 4 nights ago, and it may relate to something that Sister Sharon and I were talking about. Didn't think about it till after we got off the phone on yesterday. So in the stream, I was in my old childhood apartment complex, one of the complexes that we grew up in, or I spent most of my preteen and early teen years. And I was in my apartment, but it seemed like my apartment, instead of being on the first floor, was on the second floor. And but in the same building, but on the second floor. And I heard there was a window cracked in what would have been my mom's room. There was a window cracked, and it had no screen in it, and cracked open. And I heard a helicopter. So I go to the window to see why this helicopter that looks very similar to this, you guys, it was camouflage painted, except for the camouflage was more smaller, as if you would see it on like clothing, like military clothing. It was just smaller. It wasn't as largely spaced. It felt like I got a zoom in of it, of the tail, of the print or the pattern of the. It was just a smaller painted camouflage pattern on the helicopter in the dream. But it looked just like this, okay, guys, as far as the colors. And so I go to the window to see why this helicopter is flying so low. And then I see the helicopter, like, it goes past my window, but then it circles back around a little bit, and then it comes close to the window. And the person that's in the window, in the helicopter, is a black guy, and he's kind of cute. Okay, he's kind of cute, but then he had like dark lips. He had a darkness. It's like his face was flushed with darkness. Okay, he had a darkness about him. There was a even tone darkness over him, but he was cute. Okay. But I realized this. So he came to the window, and I'm looking puzzled in my face, and he says, "I'm not as to answer, my question that he probably knows that I'm thinking because of the puzzled look on my face. He said, I'm not the military. I trained the military. Or he said, like I'm not the military, but I trained them, or I trained the military. So as to say, he is over the military, or he has some type of influence over the military. Okay, but he said I trained the military. Okay, and so the helicopter is flying next to my window, this camouflage helicopter, and I see him pull out the string. Um, it seemed like it was like the thickness of a candle wick, okay, and it was a few inches long, like 4 inches long, and I see him pull out the string that was the only thing I can kind of describe it is it looks like a candle wick, and he pops off a tiny piece of the end. Okay, probably no bigger than a grain of. I drink sugar. I eat sugar in the raw, so sugar in the raw is a little bit of a bigger grain than processed or granulated sugar. Okay, so he pops off a piece as small as that and throws it in the bed, um, through the window. And I can tell that he's waiting for it to explode. And I feel like it's like he tossed it in and was waiting, looking to see if it was going to explode. And I felt like it would have made at least um, it would have, I don't know if the word exploded, but it would have had the same effect of like a medium sized firecracker. Not like a pop cracker, but like a medium sized firecracker for this tiny thing, okay? But when I realized that he's sitting there waiting, he taken a piece off, broken it off the string thing, and thrown it in the bed. And I realized in the matter of those few seconds that he had thrown something in there and was waiting for it to explode. I had a cup of water in my right hand, and I threw it on the the bed where this explosive piece of wax, or not wax, but this device, if you can call it that, that was this, the size of sugar, um, was I threw it at the same time that it would have exploded. And then I realized, oh my gosh, like what's going on? So I turned to go towards, like to run out of the room. And he's there in the house. He just ends up in the house. And he has come down the hallway and has gone into the bathroom, um, through the hallway, and I can see him having made his way into that, because like the door in the master bedroom also connects to the bedroom. But when he goes in the door of the bathroom through the hallway, I guess it like shuts behind itself. Kind of like, how you shut one door, the other door that may be partially open, it might vacuum the other door shut. That's the kind of thing that it did. So when he went through the hallway, it was like I felt the wind effect, or, I felt like the door had shut behind him and that he was coming in the master bedroom through that bathroom. And so, just like immediately, he ended up in front of me, and we were face to face somehow. And, but in a different place, kind of like in the hallway, not in the bedroom anymore. And he said I could see why you're so valuable or why you're such a valuable asset. When he saw me face to face, it was like a tormenting thing. I didn't feel any fear or anything in the dream, but he made it known that the reason why he was chasing me because he had heard that I was of some type of value to whom I don't know. I would just assume to like the world or my friends or to my family or to my sisters and brothers. Okay, he said I could see why they you're such a valuable like asset. And then the dream ended. You guys, when he said I am not the military, but I train them or I train the military, I got the sense that these are not, your sisters, my brothers, uncles, and fathers that go out to the military on the battleground, just, low ranking military people that have just converted from regular citizenship to the military. I was thinking like high level, like whoever is in charge, like the Department of Defense or whoever's in charge of the military. I feel like he was saying that he gives them orders, and then that kind of has its in whatever way it trickles down to equate to eventually just everyday military people getting some form of training from an evil source. Okay. I don't know if I've talked about it. That's the sense that I got. I didn't think that the devil or the evil one or demons is on the ground at boot camp, okay, training, giving orders, direct orders. I just felt like it was some type of trickle down effect. Okay, you guys, I kind of had that kind of knowledge, okay, that kind of knowing. It's probably been years, but I believe that I talked about how I feel like the boot camp training is kind of a form of like kind of like a form of like I don't want to say as far as like MK Ultra training, but it's incorporated in that in some way. Or if you go to the level of like a super soldier, okay, definitely. But the breaking down of a person's will during boot camp. I know my baby brother had a horrible time. My middle brother never really told his story. He was a Marine. But my baby brother had called home. He just thought he couldn't take it, okay? Boot camp. So the breaking down of a person's will, mind, emotions. You go through some type of breaking in boot camp. I did 3 years of ROTC and refused to go into the military. Okay, it wasn't for me. All right, so my baby brothers, I'm the oldest. They both went into the military. I just wanted to put this dream out here. I just thought it was interesting. He said, I train, like I'm not the military, but I train, like I give orders to the military. He said, I train them or I train the military. All right. I'll come back and make another video.